Good afternoon. It is 12:12 on the 21st of June, 2020. It's Father's Day. So, happy Father's Day. If you're a father, it's a heck of a job. My sister sent me something this morning. Said there's no way to be a perfect dad, but there's a million ways to be a good dad. And the only way I know to be a good dad is to get in touch with Jesus and have him make me a good dad, because I certainly wasn't one before I came to Christ. And I thank God that I'm a better father now, good father, and we have to ask my daughter about that. But why am I here? Well, it's Father's Day. The true Father, our Father in heaven, it really is a day to honor him, because, as I said, without him, none of us would be any good at anything. And the world is the way it is because they have rejected him. The cornerstone, the builders rejected Jesus. They rejected Jesus. They rejected the Father. So, the God of this world is not the God of everything. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose only begotten Son is Jesus Christ. The only way to him is through the Son. That's the God we're talking about. Happy Father's Day, my Father in heaven. A little bit about me. I just kind of want, my grandfather, there's a lady with a baby in her tummy, right? A lady with a baby in her tummy. That's going to be down at the bottom of this video. My daughter came to me talking about this. I said, well, what's this drawing about? And she goes, well, there's 3 angels, and after they hear the sound, and after they hear the angels, and apparently the angels say, do not be afraid, God is watching over us. The lady with the baby goes back into her temple, and the other people go to their temples. So I was like, wow, okay, what do we make of this? So the link to that video where she talks about that will be below. And the make of it what you make of it. But she's been drawing these pictures for a long time. That's who I get to be a father of. It's been interesting. Cost me a lot. And has given me a lot. Oh my goodness. So I fought this battle for 13 years now, 2007 to 2020. 2007 is when she started doing her drawings. And I had to overcome a very tough judge in divorce court, a very tough lawyer in divorce court, my father, who thought I was crazy for throwing this kind of money at it, and finally said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. No more. The courts have had enough. And so I had to go in there and be my own attorney against a very good attorney. And that was Jesus, and all Jesus. He opened my eyes to see how to do that. And then he gave me circumstances that worked in my favor, which I could never do. No matter how smart you are, you can't create circumstances. If you can, it's manipulation. And it certainly wasn't me, because it was way beyond my power. And those circumstances led to where I am today, and I'm blessed and highly favored, without a doubt. Do I have much? No, I'm renting from that door leads to an apartment. I don't have what some people have, and have a lot more than what other people have as well. I am blessed, without a doubt. So that being said, my father was a good father. He had a good father. I don't know the spiritual condition of my grandfather, but I know he was an immigrant from Greece, and his wife was an immigrant from Greece, and they came to this country and they made something for themselves, and they did it simply. My grandfather was a barber. My grandmother worked at Marshall Fields in Chicago as the tea room lady. They weren't swinging big dollars, and they were sending money back to Greece. All the way until my grandfather got that letter that said, please send more money soon. The car's broken. We can't make it to the summer house. And they had a car and a summer house. My grandfather was riding the L train. Actually, he was walking to work. And but he didn't have a car and he didn't have a house. And that's when he said, okay, that's enough. I've been supporting the people in Greece for too long. So he stopped. I don't know why that's in there. That's just in there. But, they made a name for themselves in this country. They raised 3 sons. Those 3 sons all served in the military. 2 in World War II, and my father served in Korea. My grandfather got his citizenship by serving in World War I. And None of my generation served in the military. I signed up. I had a Navy scholarship and I turned it down because I knew enough about myself and my alcoholism that I wasn't going to make it through. So, why start something you can't finish? Well, that was God's plan too. America has been an ungodly country for a very long time. But in the last 50 years, they did something that really was not good. That's the Eisenhower dollar. The back of the Eisenhower dollar is an eagle, and it's building a nest amongst the stars. And you've got stars around it, the moon's underneath it, it's got a branch, which means it's building a nest. Otherwise it'd have food, because that's all they do. They build nests and they bring food. And that fulfills Obadiah 1:4. And it says, though thou exalteth thyself as an eagle, and make your nest amongst the stars, from thence I will bring thee down. God is going to judge America, and there's many reasons for it. A good father disciplines his children so that they don't get into trouble, so that they don't end up dying in car wrecks, so that they don't end up going to prison. He puts the discipline down first so that they'll learn. Discipline is coming. It comes individually and it comes corporately as a nation. Our discipline is coming. And we can either turn to God, or we can continue to get more discipline until He just leaves us go and lets us do our own thing and says, go ahead, turn them over to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, so that in the end times the soul might be saved. That's what's going on. So we're going to see it. How's it going to happen? I don't really know. I had this whole thing about sunflowers in Kansas. We'll see. What I do know is that a baby doesn't come unless there's a father there somewhere. Somebody's the dad. Joseph knew he wasn't the dad, but Mary had a baby, and she knew where that baby came from. And eventually Joseph did too, and he raised that child as if he were his own, knowing what he was doing, knowing whom they were raising. There was a point to this, and I think I might have lost it, but we have a Father in heaven, and it's time to glorify His name, to do His will. Take a look at the video below. There's a lady with a baby in her tummy. Didn't get there on its own. Didn't get there on its own. And there's videos of this little girl with thoughts in her head. They didn't get there on their own. She just didn't spontaneously generate Bible verses. It didn't come from her mom, and it didn't come from me. She says where it came from. Where'd you get the idea for this? From God. From Jesus. When He died, He went up to heaven. Go check out that website. Look it over. That's the testimony. That's my testimony. It's all on that website. And there's more, but I can't even begin to get into it. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Okay? Blood of the Lamb, everybody's got. Testimony, that's what you got to give. And I'm trying to give mine. I'm trying to give it. Bits, pieces, parts. If I dumped it all on you, you wouldn't even believe me. So, go watch that little girl and ask yourself, where does knowledge of the Bible come from when no one teaches it? How does that just show up? Jesus just showed up because of the power of the Holy Spirit impregnated Mary. This little girl had thoughts and visions. Many kids are having thoughts, dreams, visions because of the power of the Holy Spirit. Psalm 8:2, you ordain praise out of the mouths of babes to vanquish the foe and the avenger. Joel 2:28, in the last days your sons and daughters will prophesy, your old men will dream dreams. Looks like it's happening to me. I mean, it is happening to me, but it looks like it is happening. And I believe it to be true. It's the power of the Holy Spirit. So, Father, thank you for blessing us with your Son, for giving us a way off this dirty little rock. The only thing good here is what you bring, Lord, through the power of the Spirit. Against those things there is no law. There's no law against love. Love your enemy. There's no law against mercy, compassion, grace. These are the things that Jesus stood for. He came to bring grace to a people that didn't deserve any of it. Don't try and make yourself holy. Just ask God to make you holy, to do it for you, because there's nothing we can do. Filthy rags, nothing we can do. Grace is the only way. And you'll know you have it when you change. When your ideas change, your thoughts, your desires. He'll clean you, but it's up to Him. All you have to do is ask. I pray that you ask Jesus to clean you. Happy Father's Day 2020. I think that's all I got. God bless. Take care.